thing that I'll ask your help on is, and I don't know if my colleagues have found this to be the case, but I'm getting more calls from parents than I ever have with students in our schools about fear of violence. I've been involved not as long as some, but I didn't historically get calls like that. And I got an email, I think we all got copied on an email from the superintendent. And it was a long, administrative, bureaucratic piece of brilliance that I expect from any government official. And I say that as a government official. What it didn't say, and this was in response to some sort of violent incident in our high school, I believe. What it didn't say is violence won't be tolerated in our schools, period. And I responded and I said, how come it didn't say something like violence won't be tolerated in our schools, period? And I got another government email pointing the fingers at the state and why we can do certain things. And a parent also, mentioned to me that someone broke a $4,000 window in one of our schools. By the way, school building committee, let's not have $4,000 windows in our next school. But a $4,000 window was broken in our school, and I might be off by a couple of dollars. And it doesn't seem like there were any consequences. There were restorative conversations. As a former troublemaking kid, I was all up for restorative conversations because there was no punishment, there were no consequences. I've never in the history of my being involved in the community, and it's only been about a little more than a decade, hearing from parents when their kids are genuinely afraid of going to school because of violence is really concerning to me. And I don't ask you to, unless you'd like to, comment on it tonight, but ultimately in the community, although it's a school department which you serve on, the buck stops with the mayor, and I fear that this will be one of those things where we're going to get everybody together at the table and we're going to feel good about conversations that we've had, because that was sort of what I heard from the superintendent, who has great intentions. But what I'm not hearing from anybody leading the community is violence won't be tolerated in our schools, period. And I will ask that you engage the team to make sure that we can all, no matter what the fine nuances of government bureaucracy exist, and I know they're lengthy, that we can all come together and say that violence won't be tolerated in our schools, period. And I thank you for the extra time, Mr. Chairman.